They say the F-47 will take its first flight in 2028. But they've been flying prototypes since 2019. The first real jet is being built right now, and something just ripped over Las Vegas that matches the classified shape perfectly. So here's the question: are we actually behind China? Or is America's 6th-gen fighter already operational and black as hell? Let's find out. In March, President Donald Trump personally announced that Boeing had been selected as the winner of the competition for the crewed fighter component of the Air Force's broader Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) initiative. The NGAD effort also includes the development of new Collaborative Combat Aircraft (CCA) drones, as well as advanced jet engines, weapons, electronic warfare suites, sensors, networking ecosystems, battle management capabilities, and more. Details about the F-47 program and design of the aircraft itself remain highly classified. As for those renderings, only 2 official ones have been released, and Air Force officials have said they do not necessarily fully reflect what the aircraft looks like in real life for operational security purposes. The inclusion of prominent Canard foreplanes in these renderings has been a particular topic of discussion since March. Canards could give the design a boost in maneuverability, but are conducive to extreme degrees of low observability, stealth, to radar. But certain aspects could be deliberate misdirection. The Air Force has said the F-47 is expected to have a combat radius in excess of 1,000 nautical miles and be able to reach speeds above Mach 2. With that range, the new 6th-generation jets will offer a roughly 25% boost in operational reach, at least over existing U.S. fighters. How fast the aircraft will be able to cruise without its afterburners engaged, and with what level of efficiency, remains unknown. The F-47 has otherwise long been expected to feature next-generation all-aspect broadband, low observability, including a significantly reduced infrared signature on top of a low radar cross-section. Spectral warfare and spectral dominance have been major focus areas for the entire NGAD initiative. Air Force officials have also talked generally about the fighters having next-generation capabilities that will leverage the rest of the NGAD ecosystem, including the ability to control future CCAs. The Air Force has said it plans to acquire at least 185 F-47s, which would be in line with the original vision of the aircraft as a successor to the F-22 Raptor. However, questions have been raised about whether that figure might change going forward, and there has been talk about the potential for multiple versions to be built in incremental developmental cycles. The F-47's expected unit cost is also unclear, but past projections have put it in the realm of 3 times the average price of an F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, or upwards of $300 million, based on publicly available information. So here's where it gets really interesting, because a lot of people are now convinced the F-47 isn't just a prototype, it's already operational, flying black missions that the Air Force will never admit to. Let's go through the main pieces of evidence that keep popping up. While the Air Force has said that it aims to have the F-47 make its first flight sometime in 2028, Steve Parker, President and CEO of Boeing Defense, Space and Security, was unwilling to talk more about this. "I won't even touch the first flight day the Air Force has put the date out there. I'm just going to stay away from all of that," Parker said. "It's all about execution, and that's what is getting all of my attention. We're in a good spot." Sounds a bit suspicious, right? Especially interesting was Parker's reference to the maturity of the design, pointing to extensive testing not only in the digital realm, but also involving a flying prototype. We know that multiple secretive flying demonstrators helped pave the way for the F-47. When Boeing secured the NGAD crewed fighter contract earlier this year, Air Force Chief of Staff David Alvin released a statement saying that, "For the past 5 years, the X-planes for this aircraft have been quietly laying the foundation for the F-47, flying hundreds of hours, testing cutting-edge concepts, and proving that we can push the envelope of technology with confidence." Back in 2023, unconfirmed reports emerged that at least 3 NGAD demonstrators were in existence. Certainly, there were separate examples from Boeing and Lockheed Martin. At least one demonstrator was flying as early as 2019, and another joined the NGAD program in 2022. It's unclear what the state of these aircraft are now. They could have served their finite purpose, not uncommon for flight demonstration vehicles with limited airframe hours designed into them. Or they could continue to support NGAD and other programs, we just don't know. Boeing's aircraft could remain of particular value. Also, Boeing previously made major investments to expand its operations in St. Louis, Missouri, to prepare for 6th-generation fighter production. This might include new fighters for the Air Force and Navy. Fast forward to October 2025, and suddenly this grainy clip blows up on YouTube. A black, faceted, tailless shape with a weird serrated exhaust screaming low over Las Vegas at dusk. No navigation lights, no transponder hit. Just a quick pass, and it's gone toward Nellis. Half the comments are screaming F-47, while the other half say it's a modified B-21 or even a drone. But the believers zoom in on the inlet shape and swear it matches the 2020 patent drawings Boeing filed for the NGAD. Maybe it was just a Boeing prototype, or maybe a full-scale fighter that the officials don't want to talk about. On top of all that, let's not forget, the United States was the first country in the world to field a true 5th-generation fighter, the F-22 Raptor, all the way back in 2005. Everyone else showed up to the party more than a decade late. China didn't get its J-20 operational until 2017. Russia's Su-57 didn't officially enter service until late 2020. And even the F-35, America's own second 5th-gen jet, only started hitting squadrons in large numbers after 2016. So for over 10 years, the U.S. had a complete monopoly on stealth fighters. Today, it still operates by far the largest and most mature fleet of 5th-gen aircraft on the planet. Almost 600 F-35s delivered and nearly 200 F-22s. No one else is even close. And now we're suddenly supposed to believe that in less than a decade, China has not only caught up, but leapfrogged the United States in the race to the 6th generation? That Beijing is already flight testing prototypes, pictures of which keep leaking online. While some defense articles seriously claim the U.S. is 3, 4, even 5 years behind? Come on, the same country that kept the F-117 stealth fighter secret for almost a decade before anyone even knew it existed. The same country that rolled out the B-2 and nobody outside a handful of people had a clue. The same country that had the SR-71 flying Mach 3+ in the 1960s while the rest of the world thought they were still struggling with the Century series. That country is now supposedly getting lapped by China in broad daylight? Or is it far more likely that the real American 6th-generation program is already flying, already mature, and wrapped in so many layers of classification that we won't see a single official pixel until the day they decide to show it? History says that's exactly how the U.S. plays this game. And history has a perfect track record so far. And okay, you might be thinking, hold up. What about the official word from the top? Aren't they admitting we're behind? Let's cut through the noise and look at the latest, straight from the Air Force Chief himself. Just recently, in September, at the AFA's Big Air, Space, and Cyber Conference, General David W. Alvin dropped this. The first F-47 next-generation air dominance fighter is already under construction. Yeah, you heard that right. Boeing's hammering away on the initial airframe right now, and Alvin says it'll be airborne by 2028. It's the platform that, along with the rest of the systems, is going to ensure dominance into the future, he told the crowd. We've got to go fast. It's almost 2026, team, and we're committed to getting the first one flying in 2028. Just 6 months after President Trump announced that Boeing had won the contract for the Air Force's first 6th-generation fighter, and boom, the factory's already cranking on the prototype. Alvin wasn't shy about hyping the pace either. He's pushing for semi-autonomous drones to team up with the F-47 and the rest of the fleet, plus keeping the heat on the B-21 Raider stealth bomber, the second prototype of which just rolled out last month. All to make sure we're prepared for any potential conflict. He even threw in a nod to one of the most complex air operations in recent history, Operation Midnight Hammer, back in June. That was the 36-hour deep strike into Iran. 125 aircraft, 7 B-2s dropping massive ordnance penetrators on nuclear bunkers, backed by F-16, F-22, F-35, and tankers like KC-135 and KC-46. Flawless execution against a tough target. China, which has been the Pentagon's primary focus, is far more technologically advanced than an adversary such as Iran, which is part of the Air Force's case for developing the F-47. Chinese leader Xi Jinping has said he wants his military to have the capability to carry out an operation against Taiwan by 2027, though he has not yet decided whether to do so, according to official U.S. assessments. While Beijing's out there leaking grainy pics of their 6th-gen tests to psych us out, and think tank pieces scream we're 3 to 4 years behind, the U.S. is quietly cranking out hardware that'll make the F-22 look like a relic. First flight in 2028? That's the public timeline. Remember those X-planes Alvin mentioned? Flying hundreds of hours since 2020? Those weren't hobby projects. They were the real deal. De-risking tech so classified we might never see the full specs. And what do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to always stay in touch. See you soon!